Super Bowl Sunday.
Fathers are here to break it down.
Not really Super Bowl Sunday. We are here prior.
We're here Super Bowl, Big Bowl Friday.
Jordan, is that a term?
The big game is what you can say if you haven't paid for the NFL licensing rights. So the BrandFathers here, no violation. We're watching the big game commercials.
We're going to title this Super Bowl so we can get a cease and desist from that.
Indeed, immediately. Hey, they don't call it the No Fun League for no reason.
We are going to go through a bunch of the ads that have come out already, and we are going to give you the reactions of people who are actually have been involved in making these, who are thinking of this through a perspective. Multiple of us have campaigns related to Super Bowl ads, so we have an intimate look. We're going to get right into it. Let's dive into some of the first ads we have. What are we kicking in with to start?
Let's be real. Everyone's going to be a hot mess after the big game. Been there, done that. And I've got just what you need to cure that post-party bug. The Carl's Jr. Hangover Burger. Egg, double bacon, yeah, you need that double bacon. Charbroiled beef, hash browns, cheese, and sauce. Just the way I like it. And guess what? Free the day after the big game. You just have to download the Carl's Jr. app and sign up for my rewards. So get your free hangover burger on Monday, February 10th. You'll definitely need one.
Okay, first question on this. Over, under 2 million downloads on the Carl's Jr. app because of this ad.
I mean, free Carl's Jr. burger advertised at Super Bowl?
Over.
I'm going over.
Over.
Yeah, I think,
Over.
what is Super Bowl viewership? 30, 40, or 50 million, I think? Hold on, no,
Yeah,
it's
just
100,
like-
no, it's 100 and...
100 something, right?
125 million,
Wow. You're going to get your free Carl's Jr.
Yeah, hold on. It's 123 million. Yeah. So yes, way over 1 million downloads.
So I think we all agree this is going to work.
It's going to work.
This is a successful campaign.
The name is great. Free hangover burger, great name. The fact that it's free, phenomenal.
It is a vibe shift, though. We are experiencing a vibe shift.
We are.
If that's the right term.
Yeah, it's just so funny to see how we've moved into the modern. Everybody's got to download an app, so now you can't even get a freaking fast food burger. You can't get a $1.99 burger.
Your chicks and your burgers without downloading an app, man.
You've got to download an app to get a burger these days, which will absolutely make me want to jump out a window. But
So let's talk about now the most obvious thing, right? They use Alex Earl here, kind of dressed the way that she is, kind of like a somewhat sexualized ad, which is, you know, how advertising was until very recently, and they're kind of reverting to this. And so, what are the takes here?
I'm literally just looking up the ownership because I feel like based out of California, how are you able to get away with like over sexual
From 3 guys on Alex Earl naked.
Like the rules are off. So first, I didn't want to get into that. Yeah, like the rules are off. California ownership group, whatever it is, we have now, the times have changed. That it's become basically apparent. It's also become apparent that takes we've seen on this already. Anyone kind of being like, how are they doing this? Is sort of like, hey, we're not doing this kind of woke bullshit anymore. Is sort of like the response from the world, which is wild, but like that's where we are. I'm not going to put an opinion one way or the other. But I think having Alex Earl in this by itself is, hey, this is a TikToker in this role. She obviously like had some, you can tell by the way they do the cuts that delivering the lines may not have been the strong point, which is interesting for someone that speaks to the camera every day. But that's an interesting transition too of like, not only are we doing this, we're doing this with a TikTok star.
What I found interesting is there were a ton of TikToks made from women talking about how iconic the Alex Earl being in that ad was. And you see there's like a lot of support in the comments for both her being in this ad, the way that she executed on it, the way that she was dressed. And so like kind of like leave aside, again, 3 guys talking about this and like whether or not this is for the male gaze and so on. It's interesting that like, especially from her community, which is heavy on TikTok, they're all like, Alex, you slayed this. Like, this is so good.
Totally.
So it's interesting.
And that's interesting, too, when you talk about combating. They're looking at, hey, there's some fallout from this from those folks, but like also like her community is absolutely massive.
Totally. And I think you probably are not. I mean, maybe this is the genius strategy of like you're tapping into your traditional male audience by doing this like male gaze style thing, but you're using this like empowered female who has a massive female following, in the younger age.
Certainly strategic.
Wow. Yeah, that's super strategic if they did that. I don't know.
I don't want to dive too deep into this one because I just
Yes.
know this is going to be a conversation topic that is going to be brutal for everyone involved on all sides, and no one's going to win in terms of their take on it.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Let's do one more over-under since the BrandFathers spoke against gambling a couple weeks ago. But over-under 50% of viewers know who she is watching that ad.
Under.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
Her following on TikTok is a little north of 7 million. I think maybe sub 2 million on Instagram. So imagine her total reach and awareness is maybe like double that.
Yeah. I would say 10% have maybe heard her name.
Yeah.
Fair.
But that shows you, I mean, honestly, you want to crack into the American zeitgeist and get to that level, TikTok's where you're at. All right, last over-under before we do this. Over-under on the amount of OnlyFans stars in commercials. I don't think that's
Under
under
one.
one, but that's where we are. That's apparently with gambling in this economy, that's where we're headed. All right,
That's fair.
next ad.
We've made contact with a new alien species, and apparently they're foodies.
Oh, food is the worst.
Mr. Ramsey, we'll need you to cook for them. You'll have access to everything the Area 51 Test Kitchen has to offer, including top secret alien cooking technology.
Wait, that's just a Hexclad pan. I've got these at home.
Unfortunately, it was leaked 8 years ago. The pan was developed using material from an alien spacecraft.
What?
Extremely durable, but low friction, ready to deal with a egg-like atmosphere.
You're saying the pan I used to fry my bacon is made out of flying saucers?
We don't have time for a science lesson, Mr. Ramsey. The alien ambassador is already here.
Whoa.
Not her, him.
Hey, what's up, dude? You're an alien?
All famous people are alien.
I'm not.
I meant like really famous people.
Seriously?
Oh yeah. Huh?
Funny zinger.
My reactions are in real time. When
I know, same. I mean, that's a funny zinger. It seems like one of my buddies says like you're doing the most. Like it feels like they're doing the most on that.
Well, so let's put some context in there. Hexclad, not exactly a household name by any means. In fact, like D2C darling, great business, like well known, controversial pan. I will not get into the details of that as they are someone who we did the website for at work. But I'm just saying, like on the internet, you'll get opinions going one way or the other. But this is like a big move for them to do that and have Pete Davidson and have Gordon Ramsay. How many pans are we moving?
I want to say the last numbers I saw, again, this is from like D2C Twitter, was like 600 million top line business.
That is incredible. Good for them.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
And so maybe the move here is they realize like how much they can sell and that this is actually a great investment for them. It's
They're worth $1 billion.
Yeah, who
So,
isn't, though?
yeah,
We're worth
sure.
$1 billion, you know, on paper.
So yeah, I mean, they've had like really strong growth and they do super well. It's interesting to see them kind of like punching above their weight with a Super Bowl ad here. So I've seen the kind of back end of this campaign. I was involved in this campaign from the kind of like influencer and creator strategy. So what you'll see, so we're kind of reviewing all of these ads on Friday. So you'll see a lot of these brands releasing their ads and teasing them early. And part of the reason is, hey, they're paying $8 million for this 30-second spot, sometimes $10 million. They put a lot into that production. They want to make sure they're getting more juice than just like this day of when maybe people are not paying attention and they're like, you know, refilling drinks or food, whatever. So the tee up for this campaign started with teasing all of this from Gordon Ramsay. He posted on Instagram this shot in a private jet where he's like, something big is coming soon. And it was this kind of like cryptic, mysterious thing. There wasn't a ton of engagement. People were just like, Jordan, where are you going? Like, or Gordon, where are you going? What are you talking about? The next post was from this guy, GeoGuessr. So Rainbolt, his claim to fame is that he plays this game GeoGuessr and can recognize any spot in the entire world with a high degree of accuracy. And so they brought him into the campaign where he says, hey, I saw this post from Gordon Ramsay and seeing the from the shot from his window, I know exactly where he is. He's in Area 51. And that video got, I think, 15 million views. And there was a lot of commentary on that one where people are like, hey, Gordon, like you have some explaining to do. What's going on here? And I think kind of like zeitgeist wise, I don't know whether or not this was intentional with the campaign. There was obviously a lot of conversation around aliens and drones and like all of these like congressional hearings
I think
about
that
it.
definitely was like on the campaign mood board for sure.
So it kind of like works really well where people are now in the comments like, hey, there's actually some grand conspiracy here, right? People are not seeing this as a potential ad campaign coming, even though everyone is like hashtag Hexclad partner in their videos.
And so also, they do seem like they're batting significantly above the weight class of like, hey, if you are the first time Super Bowl ad, you are a brand that's doing in the hundreds of millions, not in the billions of dollars. You're not PepsiCo. You're not owned by Procter & Gamble. They're coming in here. They have good celebrities. They have CGI. They have a relevant mood board. They have people like our boy Ashwin involved in the rollout. I love seeing like the modern brand playbook. Like, I don't know, they got alien CGI frying a beef Wellington. Like they've got all the right people involved. I think this is kind of an A+ execution.
Yeah, I mean, pulling GeoGuessr into this is such a underrated, unexpected concept. But like, he is so well known, especially on TikTok. Like people know his face, and he's like perfect for teasing apart. Like, where is Gordon Ramsay
When your brand
going?
plan has Gordon Ramsay, GeoGuessr, and Schwinnebago, with the dots connected, like Homeland on there, I'm just saying you're cooking.
Winner.
Beautiful mind brainstorm room, you know, like, but what if we had Schwinnebago and GeoGuessr? Yeah, I love it.
Jordan, are you buying a Hexclad pan from this ad?
No.
What pans do you use?
What I just love though is that we jump into Hexclad and I'm like, of course, Oren has a deep dive on Hexclad, you know, pan comparisons because it's perhaps your
profile.
Pan content is actually one of your sweet spots, but that's just what I love about the BrandFathers.
Yeah, I put Hexclad a positive note about Hexclad and had people coming after me.
Oh wow!
Such as life. All right, what do we got? Okay. What do we got up next?
Hey, take one off the field right now to submit his expenses.
You better not say yes. Switch your business to ramp.com.
All right, so this is a quick one. Remember, we're quick in here. So set the stage. Saquon Barkley. Ashwin, you want to break down his performance on field this year?
Ashwin,
MVP this year, without a doubt. First time I've ever seen him.
All right, this is. I'll start here as the local sports guy and happen to be involved. It is amazing for me to see. Honestly, I just have to. One of the more pinch me moments of my career was pitching Saquon Barkley to be the face of a cleated campaign, his rookie season, like right before the NFL Draft Combine. He's a great dude, and everybody's been cheering for him. So what I love about this is that they've got him ahead of time. You know, to be able to predict this and get that campaign. I don't know whether they had done this during the playoffs or they specifically did this for the Super Bowl, but if so, it's very hard to get access to an athlete prior to the Super Bowl because you only have 2 weeks. They are practicing. They are recovering.
Do you have the backstory on how they did this, which is out there on the internet?
No, is it? I haven't. Yeah, go ahead.
He didn't get paid for this. He is equitied in Ramp, and which is like a huge deal from any number of perspectives for the sense that like, Ramp is great if you do expenses. Like Ramp is excellent, and most people that we know and their businesses use them, speak super highly of them. Tech darling in the expense world, which obviously has had its share of like pretty whack companies that we've all had to deal with. But then he's been basically whoever his business manager is. If you're going to take equity in any company, I would happily, if Ramp wants to send shares to the BrandFathers, like we will happily take them at whatever price because that's a great deal. And also means he'll prioritize it, which. I think Jordan talks a lot about this, how athlete deals should be way thinking beyond what that paycheck looks like now. And this is an example of that at the absolute highest level.
Just incredible. I mean, yes, so you want to know how you get access to an athlete 2 weeks before the Super Bowl? You give him equity in your giant software company. Yes, okay, that makes total sense
athlete, now. Saquon Barkley, Ashwin's favorite of the other numbers.
Absolutely. I'll also say, I don't know if the full cut that's going to play is longer than 15 seconds, but what I love about that is it shows you exactly how simple this product is. You know, it's not like all of this like talking fluff of like, hey, you could see how there's like, 4 or 5 different characters in there and they talk about how Ramp is revolutionizing finance, which is like, he took a picture and then it's filed as an expense.
Yeah, and I actually wonder, I hope they don't do a longer ad because that actually is like to the point of like the cheapest ad format you can get, 15 seconds, gets the point across, has the celebrity star, gets people to talk about it, shows the thing, you're done. Do I even do more?
Done.
Totally. Yeah, the best part of planning ahead, like, is my favorite part of sports marketing is trying to get the athlete ahead of time. Like, this is the big, like, aha, he's on the field right now. You have the ad with him. Like, that's the best part. So
versus we had to get a Gordon Ramsay fame joke from Pete Davidson with multiple aliens within a 90-second format. But anyway, let's pop into the next one.
We had to go through 89 seconds to get that joke. All right, here's Matthew McConaughey. Let's go.
Speaking of 89 seconds.
It has been a banner year for the National Football League, which I call the National Football League. From the very beginning, football has been a conspiracy to make us hungry.
And we'll call this a pigskin. Make people crave bacon.
Everybody loves bacon.
I love bacon.
They do anything to sell food.
Coach, how come we only play on Sundays?
Because nobody's eating ice cream Saturdays, kid. So the Packers were named after meat packers.
So what's we call the fans, Coach?
Cheeseheads, of course. Why do you think Buffalo got a team?
These wings deserve a team.
Yeah.
I figured out a good team name for Buffalo, Bill. Buffalo.
Buffalo. And their biggest game? Come on.
Our championship will be a super cup.
Can't eat out of a cup, Ted, but a bowl? How about a Super Bowl?
And we'll start naming players after appliances.
Hey, Coach, do I have to be called refrigerator?
Yes.
And Peyton, he was a beef salesman. Omaha!
Steak.
Omaha! Steak.
And they're still playing us. This year, we're not even hiding it anymore. We have Super Bowl mix. With a halftime show presented by an apple. In a stadium named after a salad.
Matthew.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry, you want me to make a movie about a football conspiracy?
Yes.
No.
Come on, Greta.
No.
Bacon's in.
Everybody loves bacon.
No one believes that football is just some conspiracy to sell
Food! When football makes you hungry, order UberEats.
How are they going to make that a 30-second commercial that makes sense?
You do the hits. You get Mike Ditka. You do the refrigerator, the cheese. Like, yeah, I think you could do that in 30.
So this was so painful to watch for me.
Was it?
Because I know that this is how every ad tagline ever actually was decided, right? This is like actually they're mocking this, but this is actually how all this.
Yeah.
There's a
I was thinking like we are the BrandFathers breaking down the latest in marketing and campaigns, watching an ad about how it's a grand conspiracy to do all sporting events to get taglines for ads.
And I don't know if this is too Gen Z, but like, was that Charlie XCX eating a green apple?
It must have been. Like, yes, I was looking for all the cameos. Who was the woman at the end?
Greta Thunberg, just the director who did Barbie.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
So they brought the stars out. This is a star-spangled cast. I'm happy Charlie XCX got the bag. Good for you, girl.
Yes. They paid big money to have that giant NFL shield behind him.
How much is that ad running? Just
how much does it cost?
And the production, yeah.
But the thing is, it's not an evergreen ad.
No. It's very
it's one time.
Or is it? Or are they running this on every football game forever? That's what. So now I'm thinking, I was like, hey, maybe it's just Super Bowl. It's not evergreen outside of football, but are they going to run this on every football game for the end of time? Because that might make some sense.
No, I think what you could do is you could chop it and make it regional to make it hit even harder. Like you do that one Ditka section in Chicago, you do that one Green Bay section in like Green Bay, and they love that. You know, you could have
alpha. Let's go. Yeah, that's super smart.
I mean, it's like
all right, might be the best Super Bowl ad out there now.
I bet it just hurts. I mean, this is me. Like, man, I just don't watch enough ads. Like watching that, like every one of those jokes, I'm just like, taking the arrow to the heart, you know.
But I think this is what people want on the couch.
Yeah.
You know?
This is like, it just hurts me in particular.
It's okay. Over under
Uber Eats orders on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh gosh, Uber Eats downloads
over 20 million orders.
20 million orders. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I think that's New York City bias,
bro. No, I guess I'm in another metropolitan area, but
under.
But my God. So first, let's also, I don't want to waste too much time on it, but the Uber business model. Now that Uber is profitable, every time I look at an Uber Eats order and I pay for the Uber Plus, these guys are just taking advantage of lazy people for money in a way that is offensive. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
way.
true. I really haven't. I'm so like sort of ADD and impatient that I can't sit and wait on food to come to me. I think it'll get like cold or soggy, and so I would rather just walk out the door and go drive to the thing and get it.
It's sort of a rare position against Uber Eats, yeah. Whereas
it's true.
3 meals a day, bro.
I know. In New York City, I get it.
No, Uber Eats is en route.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I just wanted to. You said how much is it? Like over under $12 million for that campaign?
Yeah, easy. Just the fucking celebs. What do you think? McConaughey's 7 figures walking in the door.
Yes.
1,000%. Yes.
NFL, same thing. All those other celebs are getting at least 6-figure checks.
Yeah.
plus the running the spot.
Dollars.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Dara.
Okay.
That's his name, right? The guy that's the CEO of Uber?
Dara Korashi or whatever, yeah.
Dara, fucking. Bro, Uber Eats sponsored the pod.
Yeah, come on.
I use it 3 times a day.
Oh, look at this. Could you imagine right now if we get a delivery? Oh, and as a matter of fact, look, I just got my breakfast delivered.
Actually CGI into his hands the Buffalo Wild Wings.
I just have oh, look at that. Thank you so much, Uber Eats.
We'll CGI that in the bowl. All right, what we got next?
Let's run the next.
Oh, gosh.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away? And there was no joy. And they never did assemble. What if every second didn't count?
Yeah.
And he never did remember who he was? What if she never did step into the arena and he didn't see more butts? And she never did let it go and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and there is joy, and they did assemble, and every second does count, and he did remember who he was, and she did step into the arena, and he did see more butts, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Okay.
What if...
I love that this is like a classic short form format where you run through so many examples and then you run all the examples back. It's like a retention format. I'm happy they use that, but I mean, I'm not the target for this. I thought that's terrible.
I needed to be 15 seconds.
Hold on. The end of that, what did that say? Hulu on Disney Plus?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, have you seen this now?
The branding disaster.
This is actually a terrible user experience. I was tweeting about this the other day.
Is this Netflix on Hulu?
Well, you open Disney Plus now. There's a Hulu row. Hulu shows are mixed in, which led to Paddington Bear next to Taken on the top of the Disney thing. So my son's in there scrolling through. They're like, oh, it's a movie about a nice family vacation in Paris. And then all of a sudden...
Don't forget the ESPN Plus that's rolled in there somewhere in the bottom where you can watch 30 for 30 or the Menendez brothers. Like,
chaotic. It's
it's like, it is the worst, bro.
The final form is just going to be programmatic, like cable linear television again.
I mean, you want to? Yes, we will go back. Like I heard this concept one time that like
2 years away from that.
all of culture is like or business is like consolidation and then dissolution, you know, or whatever the right word would be there, dissolving. And we are in that peak dissolving phase now where, well, no, we dissolved and then now we have like little pods where Hulu, ESPN, and Disney all exist together. You're like, what are we doing? Also, HBO on Max or Max HBO is a disaster from a brand equity standpoint. All
right, it's time for the BrandFathers Network, but
Yes. BrandFathers Network, find us on Hulu, Disney Plus, and Netflix.
Yeah, Max.
All in one. But watching this commercial reminded me of this out-of-home campaign that Disney did, I want to say last year, where we'll pull it up, but it was basically like, it was the same sentiment, like imagine a world if like X didn't exist and it was like all of these great stories that they own the IP to. That was pretty clever. I saw like a bunch of people like posting it in LA. I had like friends sending it to me. So I think it's a play off of that or an extension off of that to some degree. And I think it's like clever enough.
It's a bunch of found footage. They own the rights to all of this stuff. So it's probably perhaps the most efficient. Yeah. It's the most efficient probably ad we'll see. It doesn't feel very like original to me. I don't know.
I guess what do they really have to do? Move on.
C plus.
Hulu on Netflix after all.
It's Hulu on Netflix, Max.
Yeah.
Plus, but down on Apple now, which is crazy.
Oh my God.
Find it all on Apple Plus.
All right, the BrandFathers are like absolutely having a brain aneurysm here. We got to keep going.
All right, next one.
The kids are all on YouTube anyway.
I can't believe they let us back in this place.
What?
Oh.
Nobody remembers that.
Anything wrong?
No,
Open?
nothing.
Oh, we can't have that. What's happening? There we go. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh, God. It's just.
Oh,
Oh.
this one's real.
Yes. 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 Oh.
Lunch and a show.
Okay.
Oh.
How about that?
That is a sandwich. I'll have what she's having.
I'm competing with a condiment.
All right, who's the TikToker there at the end, or the pop star?
Sydney Sweeney?
Okay, Sydney Sweeney. Sorry, there we go. Perfect. Yes.
My brother in Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, look, so they're hitting their target demographic, which is old-ass people that buy mayonnaise.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not for me. I don't even know who those people are outside of Sydney Sweeney. Who are those two?
You don't? Seattle.
I'm too young for that.
Sleepless in Seattle. That's right. You would miss this.
Yeah, I have no reference for what they're actually referencing, but yeah, that shit's...
Neither of you do, actually.
No, I have no idea.
All right.
I think it's Billy Crystal, right?
As the eldest statesman here, yeah, it's the Sleepless in Seattle famous film. She does that in a diner in Seattle. But yeah, that's the famous
So that was
scene.
like a somewhat of a similar scene in the movie.
It's the same exact like diner scene.
Oh wow.
Hellmans.
You can't do that anymore. Right?
I don't.
There isn't enough reference points for that stuff. Like pop culture doesn't have anything shared that's that old.
But there's reference points for older people.
Yeah, well, 65-year-olds are like, but like, is it also really hitting for them? Are they like, oh, let's relive the orgasm scene from the diner?
Yeah, they probably think it's funny.
Ah, there's our hook for this short form. But you got it. If you wanted to get like Gen Z involved earlier, you probably needed to have Sydney Sweeney show up earlier.
Yeah, I guess they said we don't care.
Yeah. I don't know that that's going to turn Gen Z onto Hellmans
mayonnaise.
I don't think we're eating that.
Shout out Hellmans having the bread. I guess mayo is just one of those like we're going to sell mayo forever, and they haven't like
big category. They own most of it.
Yeah. Are they responsible for the aioli rebrand, or was that done by another one of the big mayo conglomerate?
That was done by one of the finest minds in branding.
Yeah, well, I was going to say one of the two, we'll hit that when we hit the best marketing ever. The aioli Hellmans rebrand, best rebrands of all time. Touche.
All right, next
All
up.
right, yeah, we got next.
At my last job, I was working across several different groups. You know what? Let me practice that one again.
Okay, when you're ready, tell me about the job that taught you the most.
Oh God.
Well, it was a role where I learned to take constructive criticism. I got pretty used to, working long hours with a small team. I got very comfortable multitasking, and I had to become really organized.
Not bad, but try rephrasing your answer to sound more confident.
Right. Okay. I was asked to make a lot of quick decisions and do a lot of negotiating. One more book.
Talk about your experiences working with others.
Oh, well, I'm at my best when I'm collaborating. If it's for the team, I'll do whatever it takes.
This job description you shared mentions on-the-job training.
Well, I am a fast learner. I don't always have all the answers, but I get the job done. Yes. No matter how long it takes. And I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. But most importantly, I show up every day, no matter what.
All right, last question. When it comes to work, what motivates you?
I guess knowing that people can depend on me. And knowing I can depend on them too.
That's a great answer. Sounds like you're ready.
Hey James, thanks for joining us.
It's good to see you all. I've been looking forward to talking.
Oren can only say good things about this because he's in the pocket of Big Gemini. but on his behalf, he hates
Gemini, excellent technology, truly best in class. That ad is just, I'm just not the part. They killed a dog.
I'm not in that pocket.
The dog died.
I hate Gemini.
We'll go toe to toe on Gemini functionality later, but man, I'm not the target for that shit, bro. I can't. That was the longest 90 seconds of my week.
Well, hold on. Were you did you like that Volvo ad that we talked about?
Yes, I mean, this is like,
I did.
that's exact.
When they killed the dog,
Yeah.
This went too far. It was a bridge too far.
He's got a dog. He's like a big.
Ashwin's going to use the slide that I'm sorry under the door with his daughter, though.
Yeah.
I mean, remember this ad. He's going to be like, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing all my future interview prep with Google Pixel.
Jordan, you buying a Google Pixel 9? Okay, so let's zone one level in. You're living outside of Dallas. You're the kind of person that would own an Android. Is this ad, you're unemployed.
I mean, you've been unemployed for 18 years, and you're like, okay, here I am. I'm ready to get back into the job market.
Like, hey, I'm gonna make the jump to the Google Pixel 9 because of what I saw here. Because it's not about us, right? I'm not the target. We're not swapping.
Well, I think it's this, right? We're all familiar, like, AI is enough in the zeitgeist, especially ChatGPT, where people know, like, hey, it can help me find stuff better than Google can. So Google's like, all right, well, we have this ChatGPT kind of like enemy that is like eating our business. We are going to show off the use case of Gemini in a way that is not typing, but it's someone that you're talking to that is giving you actionable feedback on something that is like very important to you. I think it's a good framing in a way that is not like hyper technical. It's not this hyper technical.
But like, is an Android user going to talk to their Pixel that just seems like a really far-fetched. I understand where you're coming from a positioning standpoint. I actually agree that that's decent. It's just attaching that to this product seems like a stretch.
I mean, Android users are like, there's like 4 billion. So it's like who are we talking about? We're talking about every single demographic.
Also, you saw that Google is like firing a bunch of the Pixel staff. You're beginning to lose support for this product line. Like, I think we're seeing the end of that ecosystem.
I don't know that I don't know the inner workings of Google. I mean, every company is laying off a lot of people. They probably have a ton of bloat too.
Yeah. I would say, like, to me, there's first, Ashwin, I would say your AI New York City bias as a young person. I don't know how many 62-year-olds are like, you know what? I really need to dive into ChatGPT, and I need a simpler competitor.
Actually, that's where I think you are completely wrong. I will take the L on everything I've said previously about Android and all the other, and they're like, I just don't know. But the only conversations where I'm privy to adults on, they are talking about fucking ChatGPT.
Really? What adults? What adults are you around?
I was at a wedding in India where I was talking to a ton of my uncles who were in their 50s, 60s, 70s. 70% of those conversations were about AI and ChatGPT.
I had one business that I have that is a very varied ownership group. Dad, son, son's business partner, me. They're all about 15 years older than me. Dad's 20 years older than that. The only conversations we have at lunch are about how ChatGPT is writing this one guy's emails now, and it's like their core topic outside of sports.
So I think showing off like how this can be used in more conversational settings is actually really interesting, and like Gemini has to do something there. And so kind of weaving it into this like emotional storytelling, like sure, maybe the story goes like a step too far. It's like a little bit cringe, whatever your take is there.
It killed Old Yeller, brother. That was Old Yeller in there though, and then it was
they killed Old Yeller. Yeah.
Google has historically been like fairly good about layering in this emotional component and emotional storytelling to otherwise like very technical products. I mean, they made like great Gmail ads back in like 2008 telling this story about how a dad made an email address for his kid and was just sending him emails. Like,
oh yes, that's right.
It seems kind of lame, but it was like they were actually really good ads. So
no, that was great.
I'm pro on this ad. Oren is undefined.
Your thumbs up on this ad?
I'm thumbs up on the ad.
Wow. I just feel like they're doing the most, man. It's just like
anything that brings the functionality of Gemini to the light further, I feel like it's a positive thing.
It's a good thing for you. It's a good thing for you and your family. So keep your mouth shut.
I think actually if we go from this to like Bud Light would be an interesting transition, because I think like sometime, I don't know, we don't need to wade into some of this stuff.
We're just going to cut hard right
San
now.
Francisco-based.
I'm not going to reveal which Super Bowl ad I have the brand deal for. We know where Ashwin's one is, just so we can get to that after. But the funny undercurrent of all this is that like we're in this economy of like
we're involved in like six of these ads. Careful what you say.
Yeah, totally. Thumbs down. Middle. Thumbs middle.
Jordan, does anyone hit you to like do or propelling of any of these ads after the fact for next week? I imagine you have a campaign in this too, or nothing?
I have a partnership that is is not directly related to the Super Bowl campaign.
I'm curious because it's been interesting. This is the first. Last year's Super Bowl, we all did some reactions, we all did whatever. This is the first year where like there's influencer money just in accelerating the ads, which is extremely smart.
Yeah,
but it's really because it's been conversation. Because some of this was last second. Like I definitely got my one this week because someone else dropped out. But like I don't
I mean,
like,
we'll talk about the Salesforce one in a minute, but let's run the next one.
Let's hit that. Okay. Yeah, let's hit the next one, and then whatever we should do Salesforce right after that.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Oh.
Refreshing.
It's kissed by the perfect amount of tropical lime.
God damn it.
Rockin' baby to a kiss from a lime on the bay. Ooh, the more I think of it, the stranger I see. Yeah, my flippers got whole Mountain Dew. It slips right on through watershed.
How many people know who he is?
There is so much as he can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my fame.
Well, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast, a blast of tropical lime. Good-looking seal.
None of this makes sense.
Oren's going to be singing that the same way me and Jordan were singing singing that Be About Your Daughter, Baby, whatever that song was. That was 12 out of 10. That's going to be the most memorable commercial just because of the jingle and the seal integration.
And also, like, Seal, one of the most known men in the world.
Except Jordan. Jordan has no idea who
No.
Seal is.
I know who Seal is. I'm squaring the target here, but I just don't know.
Loves Seal. Gen Alpha loves Seal. I feel like he's one of the few that just really crosses generations. Like Antonio was singing Seal before we came in.
Who is Gen Alpha? Is that your kid? Is your kid Gen Alpha?
No, I think Gen Alpha is high school right now. My kid's Gen Beta.
Wow.
Well, Gen Bravo.
Bravo.
Yeah, rebranded for the but yeah, Gen Alpha is like high school right now, maybe the first. Antonio, you consider yourself Gen Z or Gen Alpha?
Z.
Okay.
Gen Alpha is born between the early 2010s and mid 2020s.
Yeah, high school and middle school right now. Yeah.
That was great. We got to bring back the jingles.
We do. I think audio is going to be a recurring theme of this Super Bowl and how hard that goes. Let's talk about Baja Blast. So first, I was in Mountain Dew Code Red era. That was like my high school. Code Red.
Yep.
And Baja Blast revitalized Mountain Dew to like almost no end. Like Mountain Dew is not something like people. It's like not like normal consumption in our lives, but obviously big is in the South and amongst other places. But then Baja Blast like crossed over. It's like Taco Bell, Baja Blast, pie. Like it's like a cultural icon.
Yeah. The big fast food conglomerate partnership here really helps to accelerate it. Yep.
But yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I think it doesn't get for a brand like that. It doesn't get much better.
I think it could. I'm like, aren't they trying to reach? I mean, who's Mountain Dew? I would assume is trying to reach like males 13 to 25.
I feel like Baja Blast is like overweight millennials.
You guys know? Yeah. Okay. You tell me more. Yeah. Go.
Yeah. And I think you're going older. I think you had Gen X, and then you had what rebranded to Starry. Sierra Mist. To Starry. I don't know if they're owned by the same company. I mean, like, there's two companies that own all of the soda brands. So
I don't think it was quite a rebrand, but it was. They're just positioning to the same.
Yeah. They want to position to the younger.
Because I think, look at Mountain Dew. You remember Gen X? I worked on all these Gen X campaigns a few years in the outdoors industry. It's like hella Gen X focused, and it was always like the Gen X human insight at the core of every brief is like Gen X doesn't care what anyone thinks, and it's like they need to feel like they're an individual. And like one of the core brands like attached to that is like Mountain Dew. It's like, oh, I don't care what you tell me about my health. Like, oh, I pop, I can drink my Mountain Dew.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Okay.
And let's be fair. Mountain Dew is incredible. Like I can't drink that without having a heart palpitation.
Fantastic
but like,
drink, yeah.
Really knocked out of the park on formulation, you know?
Do the do.
I have not tasted the sweet nectar of Mountain Dew since I was probably 14 years old.
Anecdote,
but-
when my brother was in the Marine Corps and I went and like stayed at one of his houses or something like overnight or wherever they were living, and I would go in the middle of the night, I like need some water. There's not like a single drop of liquid in the house except for Mountain Dew. I was like, that's some real America shit. Right
It's like the sorority houses and Poppy, and it's like the Marine Corps Mountain Dew.
All I can get is this Ridge Rush. Yeah,
just the U.S. military.
Great. All right. Well, Seal. Yeah,
Salesforce.
Seal will be a big hit with the overweight millennials who want to.
Yeah, kids, but also just one of the most iconic songs of all time. Hard for me to even think of a better song.
Fantastic song. Hopefully he shows up in the halftime show.
I also find it interesting that they're like pointing out like this. We've been in this kind of randomness, Old Spice, zeitgeist and TV ads for what 10 years, 15 now.
You can still run the playbook.
You still run it. Now, I keep showing people some TikTok stuff that is like, takes this to a nth degree, And so for me, like countering that with this is like, now that they're just sort of breaking the fourth wall, I guess, and talking about how random it is, it's interesting. Maybe we're reaching the end of this life cycle, but I don't know.
Yeah, may never die. All right, let's Salesforce.
The booking app I used didn't have Agentforce, so an AI agent didn't know to move my reservations inside or know what I like to eat.
Is this Super Bowl? Because I saw this like a month ago, I think.
What? We really needed this rain, right?
Agentforce helps restaurants prevent dining disasters.
Now run over.
It's what AI was meant to be.
We got you, brother.
Do I go as hard at Agentforce as you went at Gemini, or is it just no, I'm just joking.
You're welcome to.
Yeah, I love Salesforce.
Jordan, do you understand that ad?
The fathers love Salesforce.
We love Salesforce.
We love all SaaS, and we love software as a service in
What do you
general.
think? Like we like CRM, we like agents.
we love the agentic layer.
We like to dream.
But independent of this, now speaking from a third-party omniscient point of view, Jordan, did you understand that ad?
Well, first of all, it hits me because it's True Detective. It's a True Detective throwback, which is now the second True Detective throwback that I've seen in 1 week. There is also a Texas film piece directed by the original director, Nick Pizzolatto, highlighting why Hollywood needs to bring more production to Texas. But I guess we can continue to run that True Detective season 1 playbook.
Can we though? The only the True Detective season 1 like over time is the fact they used Grinder Man in the motorcycle scene and really shouted out.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I mean, really more that I just grieve the next 3 seasons and how terrible they all were compared to that first one. But I don't know, Ash. I don't know. You give us the inside scoop on Salesforce. Yeah, what happened? It's funny. It's clever. Yeah, it's funny.
So my question is like, is the understanding of Agentforce coming across? Like, do you see that ad and do you say, hey, I can kind of reasonably figure out what Salesforce Agentforce is?
I have absolutely no idea what their service
And
is.
I feel like your average restaurant owner doesn't either. I have a decent understanding of what Salesforce is trying to do, even though I know obviously that's a like intangible ball of complication. And still was sort of like trying to understand like what the pitch was in that job. But I feel like at least they're trying.
Yeah, I think so. I am doing a campaign with Salesforce, kind of around like blowing out their Super Bowl campaign, where we were building these kind of AI agents. So Salesforce's main MO right now is to promote these agents. What do these agents do? Agents are basically, they'll take like a number of business workflows and then just kind of automate a lot of them. So the way that we use it for one of our businesses is we get a lot of customer support requests where people are like, hey, I need to update my order and change my shipping address and I want to swap out a flavor. Great, right now you do that through a customer service representative. The idea here is you do that with a agent bot that then takes that action on your behalf. So they can apply this technology to any industry. And so they're trying to show off these use cases. Hey, here's how a restaurant could use it, or hey, here's how a retail location could use it. I think I'm able to understand that because I have fairly deep knowledge of what these agents do and how it works, so it makes sense to me. But if I was seeing that just kind of off the cuff, 30 seconds, I'm like, what?
It's not breaking down the agentic
Is that
layer.
like making sense to me?
Okay, a question then. When you're talking about agents, is it in the same context that we were talking about AI agents last week, where it's like this kind of predetermined bot that can do these things for you?
Those dots do not connect inside of that video. That's the hard part there.
Of course.
Yeah, I think it's like a challenge to pull that off too.
Can Matthew McConaughey describe what an AI agent does? You were with him yesterday, right?
No, he was not there.
Was Nick Saban there?
Reserve any commentary.
Was Nick Saban there or no?
Carl Rove, I heard, was on the campaign. Or is that Mark Spitz?
Mark Benioff was there himself. It's like, do not call them.
But you know what? I actually should say, like, all these campaigns are not trying to do everything. This is top of funnel awareness, right?
Yeah.
This is just, hey, do you recognize the name? And if I'm looking, am I a business owner? Once I start looking for something that can help me with my inbound requests, I see Salesforce and I remember it somehow. So that's it, right?
Yeah. And speaking of top of funnel awareness, what happens from a lot of these campaigns we see for normal day-to-day products? They go and they get a follow through, a call to action, an action by the customer at Walmart, at big retail.
Mm-hmm.
And this podcast is presented by Platform, who helps those brands get into the ability to be in big retail, to actually take advantage of opportunities, whether owned media or organic media. So if your brand is up and coming, you feel like you are the next Hexclad in your category, you want to make sure you are available like inside retail, optimized for Amazon, etc. You should check out our partners at oneplatform.com. There's some slight abbreviations inside that, so we will link it down below in the podcast and the YouTube. Organic? Yeah, beautiful. All right. Let's hit one more, and then we'll probably be at people's max attention span.
It's artwork.
Comedian by Mauricio Catalan, worth $6.2 million.
What? Well, that's a $6.2 million banana. Are you kidding? We need to find you another banana. Bananas.
Gentlemen,
What a place you have.
who eats art?
I think you're supposed to say, hey, Meta.
Like, hey, Meta, who eats art? And then Meta would say,
Chris Pratt.
Hey, Meta, call my lawyer.
You know, the Meta Ray-Bans are a great product.
Yeah.
I use the Meta Ray-Bans. The Meta Ray-Bans translate languages when you are traveling internationally, like into your ear. You can take video from them. There's a very solid product. The ad
Why
campaigns
is that
do
not the ad?
They do not live up to the exactly. Why is the ad?
That was a crazy bad ad for presumably how powerful this tech is.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you see where the opportunity is. Well, look, I'm in Spain. They're on. Someone's talking in Spanish. I'm getting a translation. I can also go look at a statue and be like, Meta, tell me about this statue, and it will tell me about the statue and like or the architecture. It's like pretty solid. And the fact that we are using what's her name, Kardashian mom manager,
This 10-year-old expensive banana.
Chris Pratt, and a gorgeous fridge. The fridge full of kale and stuff is actually really appealed to me on a visceral level.
Of course,
If you missed a second of that ad,
You have
you
no
have
idea
like
what's going
no actual understanding of what it's about.
Yeah. Man,
Which is
that's
good.
a bummer. Yeah.
Product. They're just not. I just wonder. I don't know. We're gonna have to. Whatever agency did this, you guys should probably just close up.
Yeah, of course, we would never speak ill of Meta. We would never speak ill of Big Brother Meta, but we think they're better than that, and the BrandFathers would love to help you in the future. Let's see who that agency is.
Do you have these Meta glasses on you?
No, I don't. I traveled with them last time when I went to Spain. But I didn't travel with them here. But they're great. I was
Must
like
try.
early, and yeah, it's interesting. All right, that one was a quick one. We will hit. Let's hit one more. It can be Antonio's choice, roulette. You know, the Super Bowl roulette. Oh, great. Culture war.
Still too little, buddy.
Oh, it's the horses. This is your moment.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can hide. Just feel the thunder.
horse walks into a bar, and
And what?
just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show.
This ad is making Oren tear up. It's doing what the Google Pixel commercial is doing as a middle-aged man.
Here. There's nothing that gets to me like a little horse.
And like an animal thriving.
Doing big things.
So he didn't like when the dog died in the other ad.
Yeah, look, that ad really spoke to me on a lot of levels. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought that was incredible, but I'm still where Bud Light is still never gonna come back. I think it's culturally forced.
I do think we need to do Bud Light before we end this pod to like compare the two. I have it if Antonio doesn't, but you get. Look, I would say Jeep and Budweiser are probably the two that just go full Americana, horse or American flag waving in the wind. There's dust. We're in a Western setting, some type of old town. Like there's a burbling brook somewhere. And both of them just speak to like Americana Super Bowl moment.
It's a babbling brook.
A burbling brook.
Oh, what they say in Dallas. Oh, here we go.
All right, here we go.
You go fishing tomorrow? I got a colonoscopy tomorrow.
Fellas, accidentally threw a lane party.
Okay, Ted.
They're on their way.
They're here. You call this a party? Cul-de-sac party. Launch. These beers are a metaphor for an invitation.
Party
Party at the sack.
You are cordially invited to the end of the cul-de-sac.
This is incredible.
Your mower smokes meat?
Oh, a smoker cuts grass.
Hell yeah.
I spent most of my money on this. Your rig? Fully cut. How many Bud Lights can you fit with that puppy? As many Bud Lights as it takes. It's a lot of Bud Lights. It's a cul-de-sac. Pop. Bill, get off the boat. The HOA's already breathing down my neck.
Everyone can relate to the HOA, HOA zinger.
Who approved this?
Do they have HOAs? And anyway,
So you're out on that.
I'm out on that. I give
You're
me a
out.
little horse every day of the week.
I can't. Oh,
And
so
you live in a cul-de-sac.
And I live in a cul-de-sac. Also, we do parties like this. We have invites that are very frequent, and I don't relate. I just feel like they're trying so hard to come back or appeal to some middling demographic or do whatever. And I don't know why. Shane and Post, I know, was the money worth it?
I know. And Peyton. Peyton has so much
for him,
money,
it's all the money,
so many endorsements.
I can have integrity.
I don't know how Peyton needs
Jordan's
that
like
much.
looking wistfully off in the distance.
I'm just like,
Bud Lights go
Peyton's got FanDuel, he's got ESPN, he's got everybody. I don't know why you would need to take this, but I mean, Bud Light is probably just backing up the truck to get anybody to try to recapture middle-aged white males.
You know, they should have pulled the Alex Earl hangover. You know, she's there hosting the party. So for the next day, you go to Carl's Jr.
Yeah, so you're pitching Bud Light. We went wrong, and then it's just Alex Earl, bikini models, Dallas
He's
Cowboys
like,
cheerleaders.
let's do it, boys. They're just shotgunning beers.
Oh wait, Antonio has. We're getting word from Gen Z here that Bud Light is sneaky back with his demo.
Oh
wow!
The
Breaking news!
It's working.
Breaking news! We need our Gen Z confessional.
We are underestimating.
So Shane is
Gillis'
doing it.
crossover with the young white males. All right, cool.
Shane Gillis and Post Malone is a formula for recapturing that.
How do you feel about Posty? Are we still, Yeah. If he says it's whatever, that means it's trash.
It sucks. So done.
We can't help look at it through. We look at it through the like advertising, probably focused lens where we know how they screwed up and lost their demographic and their business. But average American watching this who's not paying attention to that stuff is probably funny.
It's probably a good ad.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Yeah.
All right, so weigh in.
All right.
Tell us where we're completely wrong.
Yeah.
Please, drop in the Spotify comments, drop in the YouTube comments.
Let us know what your favorite one is. Anyone that we didn't cover.
We're going to be breaking down the best Super Bowl ads of all time in a 4-hour marathon here. No, I'm just
No, but we would love
live. We're going live all of Sunday night.
The BrandFathers do have a confessional booth that we are making a regular staple on our podcast. So if you have ever worked on a big campaign or with one of these big brands and something has gone awry,
oh yeah, Super Bowl horror stories, Super Bowl stories. Yeah, Ashley's DMs are open.
Please tell us. All of our DMs are open.
Full anonymity will be provided to you. So we want to hear your stories, and we'll read them here on the podcast.
Thanks to Platform. Thanks to Budweiser. Thanks to Salesforce. Thanks to Rocket Mortgage. Thanks to whoever we have involved here. Let's
the agentic layer.
Let's get this pigskin.
That's right. Let's go.
All right.